Good evening. Clear prop. Doors locked. Roads clear. Clear to the pulley. Get your A's, but you're not going to need much of them. Be aware that you've got stuff that could grab your lines. Doors locked. Roads clear. Clear to the pulley. Grab the A's. Wind completely freaking different. Coming right at me. Center up, just be ready. It'll change back, but it's been doing all night. So center up. Back it off. Good posture. Good power. Good pressure. Awkward but up. Awkward but up. First thing, these fell right off my head, so have to hold on to them until I gain some height here. Gonna go out this way. That was not a good launch. I'm here to tell you. Not a good launch. I've done better. I need to deal with this part here, or other it's going to go through my strap. So, first review on the Scott ski goggles. They popped off during launch, and that could have been very problematic. I don't know if I'm going to fly over my house and just drop them, or if I'm going to climb up to a altitude and try and re-flip them, but I'm going to do something, and I'm going to do it down over this big field. I really didn't like my launch there. That was almost a launch that would convince you to go back to your trainer. I do have some mild bumps. I'm a little surprised by that. Not terrible. I think what may have happened is I think the wind might have shifted more and left me fighting right when maybe I should have been fighting left. Okay, got the goggles, so that's sorted. Gonna try a little something else this time. All right. We are going to stay over this out area. I do believe put on some light gloves that hopefully will knock the cold out. Hopefully. Plenty of altitude to lose. Turning around anyway. Gloves. Resetting the throttle with the gloves. Leaning strong right. Yeah, weird, huh? That was really, really, really odd. Everything about that. And I don't know if it's because I'm wearing so much more crap than I normally do. Pretty full tank. All my lines look good. I've got a little mark on one of my B lines, and I am going to need to check that out because I hope I didn't end up with another snag. Crap. So, anyway, we are up. Winds coming out of the southeast, and then the east, and then the south. And my launch looked like someone who had done about 3 flights in training, which wasn't beneficial because I've got an injury to my quadricep on my right leg. It even makes it hard getting the paramotor on. It doesn't really impede me when I'm landing, but if I do stompy launches, it doesn't like that. So I think what I'm going to do is make a little cross country by flying back towards the wind here. I do need to come down a little bit. Very clear night. Yeah, maybe just weird ground winds tonight. Doesn't feel like anything up here. Of course, about 850 feet right now. Whoa. I just need to catch my breath for a minute. That was uncomfortable. and I thought I had overdone it with my clothes. Now I know I didn't, because I'm flying along comfortable. But yeah, every pound you add, makes a huge difference. And I fueled up thinking this was going to be a pretty long flight, and I'm hoping it is. But, every gallon of fuel. So 54 pounds dry, 55 dry, somewhere in there. Maybe 28 pounds, 30 pounds of gas. And then all these layers of clothes and extra things that are new. That was a lot. There's definitely, I don't know if you're going to see it on the GoPro, but I definitely maybe dinged a little line or something. Yeah, that wind's all over the place. So good to know. Climbing down to about 500 feet. A little higher because I'm going to go over this industrial area. And normally, my out is the football game. But I'm not thinking that's out today because I wonder if there's a better way to get there. What if I go down all the way to this field? This farmer is cutting corn. Might be good to go down and wave at him. Make friends with this guy. I got myself in a little oscillation here. That's weird. Check all of my lines, make sure it's something that come off the power. Let's get my hands on the brake. Double check again that nothing weird's going on, because I didn't induce that. That maybe just have been a wind and a power deal. Yeah, I'm going to climb up a little bit higher. That wind feels a little weird right there. Well, yeah. I've had worse jumpy wings, but it's jumping around a little more than I thought it would tonight. I'll have to ask some of the cold water guys what they thought of the wind. I'd hate to have to call Kevin and order new lines again. I may just need to call him and say, hey, apparently I'm going to do this a lot, so why don't you go ahead and order me a replacement set of all my main lines, and then I'll just have them for every time I do stupid shit. Weird. Right. I don't have anything cockamamie. Wow. No. Maybe I just took off a little earlier than I should, and I'm learning a little cold weather lesson. It's 5:45 right now. Huh. Jet up high. Eric down low. That's where you want to be. Hard to beat that out, but then you're behind fences. Making phone calls to answering machines going, I need someone lock the gate. Oh. Yep. Yep. I think I'm going to go this way. See if I can gain a little more altitude again. And it was more comfortable a little higher. That's for sure. Be clear enough in the high school football game to not disturb anybody. Heading towards the metropolis that is Edwardsburg, Michigan. Oh. It's a beautiful night. Now that I'm up here, I can kind of do what I wanted to do and check out how the colors are coming along. Certainly down here, it's not fully done yet. But around the lake, it looks to be pretty gorgeous. So that's really where we were headed tonight, just to kind of go out, look at the fall colors in Michigan. Yeah, I'm going to call. Message out to the guys that fly out of Coldwater. I'd be curious to hear what they thought of some of those winds down lower. That was kind of a different experience for me. Quite frankly, that second launch got saved only at the end. I will say there are a lot more outs than I've had before. All right. Can't go into Garber Lake because that's the edge of the airspace. I actually need to go up a little bit more. That's going to be Eagle. I think I need to cross. Farm field over here could be an out. These are out. These are out behind me. Out to my left. I don't think I'm high enough to want to cross there. Scouting for air traffic on a pretty night. We're just going to stay on US 12, and then we'll cut over when we get to the golf course. Not ideal, but you have decent out over there. That's really pretty, and I was going to look at it, but it's all swamp in the middle. Not a lot of places to land. Not enjoying down low tonight. That's unfortunate. That's a little too congested to fly over. We can cut across at Eagle Lake School. Eagle Lake School has an out behind it. Always get a little sad at the end of the summer season. Every paramotor has different issues. The one I don't like on the SkyMax is occasionally, after I start my engine, my pull cord will come a little to the left of the little metal roller and get caught to where if I had an engine out, I would never be able to restart it. I just have to take my lumps. So even if I were to accidentally kill it, whereas a in-flight restart is normally no big deal, it would be a little problematic. Definitely still getting some bumps when I change to the different terrains, when I go from the darker to the lighter. Good lesson. Very clear tonight. I can see all the way down to Elkhart. I can see the tower. I'm going to start just weight shifting a bit because I do need to cross this road so that I avoid our airspace. Because it comes up right there in a big circle, and the only way I can legally be in it is if I was over 3,200 feet, which I am not. There's the little party store. There's Eagle Lake School. That would be my out right now if I needed it. And once I get through the school, you got outs for days. Got one pontoon out there on the lake. Sneaking in a last ride. Well, I got to tell you, I'm glad I got a covered trailer for my paramotor because I don't know if I'm a winter flyer. I guess it's going to depend on just how much I feel like I need to do to get up in the air. It's going to be a shame. I'm going to be in Scottsdale for 2.5 days next week, and you know it'll still be summer down there. But I won't have a paramotor with me. Well, it'll be interesting to see if in this last hour of flying, the wind down lower gets a little more comfortable to be in. I thought we were going to have a pretty buttery night. So, and it's not terrible where I'm at right now, but I'm at 1,100 feet. I get down to 5 or 6, and I'm getting thrown around pretty good. Boy, that's awful pretty. This point right up here, you see it kind of come off, and then there's a big round edge to it. That's where my buddy and I like to set up for our duck hunt. You can see a tree sitting out on this little point, and then water kind of crosses through. So it's right at the tip of my foot. These guys don't look like they're setting up to hunt. They look like they're getting fishing in. Feel like we got the golf course here. We've got my other LZ over here. Well, Andy, no one is hunting the evening at all in our spot. That being said, not a lot flying around either. Let's go, well, there's a couple. Can't tell. They're kind of bouncing up and down like starlings. This is the creek, Andy, that if you watch this video, which I'll probably tell you to, this is the creek that runs in and then heads up to US 12. There's a flock. Those are going to be geese. Let's see where they go. or are they duck? Hard to tell. I'm way up here. They're too big to be ducks. But interesting how they're staying along the golf course. Even with my gloves on. Not enough. My hands are cold. You know what? Maybe that's a good lead-in. I thought maybe tonight I'd tell a story about maybe what brought me into paramotoring, aside from the normal stuff that brings people like us into it. You know, the watching it on YouTube and the Tucker Got videos and the Woody Gamer Tags and the Kyle Leads of the world that turn us all on to how cool it can be. I've got to make a turn here because I am going to be impeding the Elkhart airspace if I do not. And I know that because I took Kyle's advice and marked it with roads. Right here, I am good. Now, what happened that kind of led me to decide it was time to do this thing for myself and invest in something new was last year, my buddy came up, and it was at the tail end of a horrible week and a half with just Michigan freeze, where we had real temperatures down by -20 and wind chills that were approaching 30 below, 35 below, just crazy cold. And right after that little stretch broke, and it was right after that stretch broke, we had a extended duck season. So they closed duck around December 5th, somewhere like that, and then they reopened up again. Sometimes it's over New Year's weekend, but it's open the same time that the goose season is, and we were all set to go, but I didn't get a lot of chance to scout, and we had ice so thick that even in the areas that generally don't ice up because there's a strong water movement coming in, that creek we just flew down moves pretty good when it comes into Christian Lake. It completely shut down it shut down the ability to get out and break some ice and get on the water we normally get on. So we scouted around and finally decided to call my former father-in-law, who owns land on both sides of Christiana Creek. That's up just this way. And it's a shallow, fast-moving creek. And what we probably should have done is just waited in there, carried decoys, and forgot about the kayak and the boats and all that stuff. But we didn't. And as we were putting the boat in the water, we were doing it down by a culvert, a pinch point for the current. So the current was really moving. It was probably 15, 16 degrees above zero at the time with wind chills below. And as we were putting my, I have a Stealth 2000, which I guess you could call it a kayak, but it really isn't. It's a pretty heavy 280, 300-pound thing before you have it loaded up. Well, we were sliding it down an incline, and it got away from us a little bit, caught the tip of it, the nose of it, into the current, which pulled my back, and I ruptured 4 of my L1, L2, L3, and S1. And I curled up, I hit the water and went under, and I was just wearing neoprene waders. Hadn't put any of my other stuff on yet. None of my neoprene gloves. I was bare-faced, bare-handed, pretty much just wearing my top 2 layers. I didn't have my really warm stuff on yet. And then got sucked up under the culvert and under the road. This road right here, in fact, the dirt part of Cass as it goes up north. And it's about 6 feet deep, and I got to spend about, what felt like an eternity, but was probably closer to 2 minutes fighting my way to try and get out from this culvert. And thankfully was able to do so. And then my buddy got a hold of me and got me up on the road. And we got all the wet stuff off. I think that the neoprene waders probably saved me because they acted a little bit like a wetsuit, in that once the water all creeped under, at least my body was able to warm things up a little bit. And I was able to kind of lay out on the road, and I think we stripped me down to my base layer, which was that really skin-tight Under Armour, I wear it for all my hunting, my deer, everything. My hands had swelled because all the blood had rushed into the major parts of my body, and my hands had swelled to about twice their size, normal size. It was a bad situation, and I'm here to tell you, I have never felt pain, and I've broken my leg in 3 places in a spiral fracture. I've had shoulder surgery, knee surgery. I've had some surgery for being old and having some issues. Nothing had ever been the pain that felt like I felt when the blood came back into my hands. It felt like I was laying my hands on a stove while someone was pulling my fingernails out. And that's about as close approximation as I can give you as to what that felt like. I need to start making my way back towards the home front. And I need to decide how I'm going to do it. And I think I'm going to go up, go over this point, get high enough maybe where I could have an out on the other side of the lake. That way, flatter. Where is it? I don't see a plane. I just saw a flasher. Wanted to make sure I wasn't about to have an unpleasant encounter. Must have just been off one of the towers. Nope, can't do that. I'm going to stick with the golf course. Use Donald's runway as an out as I go this way. Kind of wishing that I bought 2 goggles as I prepare for the winter paramotoring season here in Michigan. One of them has some tinting to it, and one of them is clear because I was hoping to see some pretty colors. I wore the clear one. So anyway, I guess I'll go back to my story. I'm not doing this very well, but it took me a long time to recover from that injury, and I didn't know how mentally bothered I was by what had occurred. I had several months of not sleeping well, of bad dreams, and I needed something. I was becoming kind of sluggy because I was so worried about my back and injuring it again. I had lost a lot of weight, and at this point, I don't really have a lot of weight to give, but I had lost I'm almost about 178 right now, and I think when I signed up for lessons at the end of spring and into early summer, now I'm going to make a call here that I think is all right. I'm going to cross here. I've never crossed here before, but I'm going to do it. I know that's not terribly landable, but there is solid stuff down there in the swamp. And I'm also at 1,000 feet, and there's a pretty good chance if it died right about now, I could do a downwinder. But I think I want to fly these open fields back. Huh. That's interesting. So this is the lake that we hunt. And we always like to set up on this side. Look at all these folks in this really shallow part. And I guess I never knew that there was a long, winding area coming out of there. Still plenty of fuel. No concern there. Those are all fishermen. I don't see anyone set up for an evening hunt. Little weight shift turn. That would be Eagle Lake right there. Now we should just be able to put a little bit of weight on our butt, crab our way upwards a little bit, see how far we can drift. Wow, super clear night. And it's gorgeous, and I'm thrilled that I'm up flying, but I am I'm sitting up here bothered by it. I think I need to let it go. And remember that I'm still new at this. There are people that get more flights than I have when they're still in training. So I may not be so hard on myself. You know, those folks are training in areas where the weather's a little more conducive. Boy, I'm getting a nice flight right now. So I want to go right. I feel like I should have come out this way. Well, this way before. I feel like if I just stay on this route, I've got choices. Right now, I certainly do. Sundog up in the sky. That right there was the sound of me shoving my hand up under my coat. Because even in the gloves, they're starting to get pain. When I had my accident, I did some nerve damage to my hands took the brunt of the issue with the cold. My back was the injury. But the sustaining issue that I found is even in moderate temperatures, when it gets to be about 40 degrees, when it gets to be 35, when my hands are bare and catch the wind, it can be a very sharp, painful experience. So I make sure I carry a bunch of gloves with me at all times. And I have the big, expensive heated gloves that are kind of marketed to our community. I just didn't bring them. I took off. It was 60 degrees. Figured if I covered my hands, I'd be good. We'll call that a lesson learned as well. This is one of my favorite flights right here. This backside of these lakes. There's some beautiful areas. Part airspace. Well, maybe this time I'll have to leave my launch in. The short video so that everybody can tell me what it is they think I did wrong. Definitely crapping my way back. I'd be curious. It's
7:20. So landing time 7 o'clock tonight. Sunset 6:58. So somewhere around there. I'd be real curious if it's gotten any calmer down low. Nice house there. Backs up to this swamp. Wouldn't mind having permission to hunt that. Wonder who owns it. Well, look for that house. That house could be the owner of it. I can see downtown South Bend. You can't see it on the GoPro, but I can see where Lake Michigan comes in. It's amazing how far you can see, even when you're not up incredibly high. I'm at 1,100 feet. I'm going to slowly come down a little bit. I'm now flying towards South Bend's airspace. And I can come in under the shelf, but I have to be below 2,000 MSL. And right now, I'm a little above 2,000 MSL. And surprisingly, still getting bumped around a little bit. No, I'm actually below it right now. Strange. Now there's some people burning stuff way out in the distance, but I really can't make much out of it. I'd have to get closer. Yeah, I don't know. I've seen some of those guys out in Wisconsin flying around on frozen lakes. I know the YouTubers got to fly. They got to make content. I got like 5 subscribers. I do not think that they will miss me if I take the winter off. It's almost time for me to spend my time in a tree, not paramotoring into a tree, but climbing into a tree with a bow. Let's test something here. We know this field does not have obstacles. kids. It almost feels like I could be heading into the wind like this. Right here feels like I could be heading into the wind. Would have had to change directions pretty good for that to be the case, but that's what it feels like. Well, you get a wind, you set up a nice wall, you know you got everything going, and then you yank it up, and the wind is 45 degrees different. The other mistake I made is I turned to look at what my wing was doing on that failed launch. Probably shouldn't have done that. Got to get in the habit of, even though you killed your engine, let's make sure your lines stay where they're supposed to stay. Yeah, forward speed is much reduced. We got to be headed pretty much right at the wind. I almost thought it might die off. It's been a long time since I, on that failed one, I let it surge on me. It's done that. That's not been one of my weak points. One of the problems is my flying is so inconsistent and how often I'm able to do it, it's hard to progress. I also have an LZ that's wonderful, but they prefer that the owner of the farm has horses, so he likes me to take off and leave and then come back to land and not really mess around in there. So I don't really have a wide open field to go, I'm going to do this 45 minutes of takeoffs and landings and really knock out the flight. And I think I need to do that. But to do that over at my other LZ, I have to have the exact right wind. It's got to be out of the north or it's got to be out of the south. The east-west is a challenging deal there. Right. Yeah, my flag is moving pretty good. I said flag, but I meant my streamers. So should be a pretty straightforward. Yeah, it's still a little east, saying I'm flying into it right now. Should be able to come over and kick the tops of those trees and just kill it. A little bit of an angle. Right now, I should be heading right into it. It might be. It might be straight out of the south now. Huh. losing a little altitude. Getting a little closer to that smoke. I don't think I'm wrong. They'll just come in over the tops of the trees when I land. Not going to be any way to be close to my takeoff at that point. Feels a little calmer down here than it did. Just flying this direction because I can. Have the opportunity to stay up. Might as well take it. I don't know when it's 35, 40 degrees whether I'm going to want to fly this bad. I've got to stop catching my lines on this crappy hickory steel. I know that when I fly this way, I have higher power lines, and I can't see so well because of that sun in my eyes. So I think I'm not gonna mess with it too much. I'm gonna fly down this way. Downtown South Bend. The big tall power lines up here are about the edge of where I have outs available to me, so I'll have to turn around up there. Definitely still some bumps. Huh. That's a tall cell tower. All right. Well, let's get prepared here. Ooh, these gloves, I will tell you, I'm not digging the loss of feeling. And these aren't even thick. All right. Feel a little bit of a now this direction. What have I gained? It feels quite a bit different. Oh my goodness, yeah. I'm up to 35. There's a big difference. The weird winds weren't supposed to start until they were about 4,000 or 5,000 feet. Feeling like things are a little different than forecasted. Plenty of fuel. Motor's running well. I am going to cut over here, cut along the back side of this farm field. Everybody's cutting corn. Tonight might have been the night to try and be in your stand. Those deer will be kicked out of these fields. I might have a morning activity. The other night. What? Must be halftime. Got the bands out on the field. You think they'd appreciate it if I went down and flew through the goalpost? I'm gonna run with no. No, they wouldn't. Max is at the game. He would appreciate it. Don't get fixated on watching the band and get run over by a Cessna. Can't believe there's nothing in the air tonight. Formation looks good. Follow these railroad tracks. Unlike some other lucky folks, that water tower is not got any outs to fly near to. So, that's about as close as I can get. There's an ounce behind the game. Yeah, I'm hauling. 37, trim neutral. .644. The sunset is a coming. I've got my flashers. I'm not worried about it. I can go later. May play down in this area here a little bit. Just kind of decide how I'm going to come up on the houses. Haven't really landed with a straight south wind yet. I sure think that's kind of what we got. Keeping it here. We'll probably just come right over that corner. There's no sense trying to get tricky. I can't really get low enough because of that power station right there to come in where I'd want to come in with this wind, because I'll never get low enough over the trees. I don't mind walking things for safety, but let's see what this looks like. I mean, I know what Tucker would do. He'd come in around that house and do a little hook turn. I am not going to do that. I am going to fix this oscillation. So I'm at 4 right now. These wires, I want to give a wide margin too. I could come in on the inside, come around. That wind is not directly out of the south, and that does make a difference. So, I think I see a game plan. I think I see it. I think I see how I want to do it. Weird. I could almost come in like that. Let's see. What's this feel like? What does this feel like? Does this feel like what you want? Might be. Nope. You're crossed. You're a little crossed that way. So you'll want to do this. You'll want to do this. You'll want to come over. Don't be a hero. Don't be a hero. You'll want to come in this way with a little bit of this, a little bit of this. Then you'll want to step out of your harness. You'll want to go hands up. You'll want to kill the engine. I think you did. You're going to get real floaty. You're going to come down. Uh-oh. That was not a good one. Okay. This was all bad today. All bad. Why'd you land like that, dummy? Everything you did today was bad. Kevin, today was bad. Does anybody have a day where they just fly bad? Today was that day. Today was that day. Huh. No harm, no foul, I guess. Didn't zip that back up. I've had worse landings. No, I haven't. That was pretty shitty. That was pretty crappy. All things being equal, that was crappy. Take your paramotor home. That was craptacular.